She said Tory shot Meg. That's what Kelsey said. Then she came and testified and said she don't remember who paid for her lawyer.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Let's talk about Megan and Tory and Kelsey. I'm going to explain to you guys what just happened in court because some of you guys don't understand how this works and you don't understand why he was found guilty. I am going to explain to you why he was found guilty. Okay? Number one, it was never Megan versus Tory. The court of public opinion may have thought that it was Meg versus Tory, but it was Tory versus the people of California, the state of California, the Los Angeles County District Attorney, right? Megan was not on trial, right? So let's get that squared away. Number one. Number two, and this is very important. I want y'all to get this. When the incident happened, what was the first thing Kelsey did when this thing went down? What was the first text message she sent out? The first thing that Kelsey did, she sent out a text message, and what did that text message say? It said, Tory shot Meg. That's the first thing that she did. She sent that text message. Help, Tory shot Meg. Remove everything that you've heard and her testimony and her recanting, and that is the first thing she did. And I want to talk about that because if you were one of the jurors and you're hearing all this information and you're hearing people recant what they said, and you got 80 minutes of Kelsey talking to a DA investigator, and you're processing all this information, how did people react when it first went down? The first thing she did was send a text message, a text saying that Tory shot Meg. Interesting. Why was, and that's one point. Point number three, I think I'm on number three. Why did Tory get on the phone and start apologizing? What was he apologizing for? Let's think about that for a second. They recorded the phone call with him apologizing. What was he apologizing for? Let's stop there for a second. Let's just stop. You got Kelsey saying that Tory shot Meg, and you got Meg on the phone, Tory on the phone apologizing. Kelsey say Tory shot Meg, Tory on the phone apologizing. You have to realize that the jurors are like, wait a minute. When they're deliberating and having these conversations, and you guys think that the defense attorneys have created this amazing case of reasonable doubt, you got to understand that they're thinking about the night that this all happened and everything that transpired that night. Immediately. Everything that transpired when he made that phone call, everything that happened then, all of the information that they have. She said Tory shot Meg. That's what Kelsey said. Then she came and testified and said she don't remember who paid for her lawyer. Talking about that she was pressured to speak with the DA. What you guys may not know is that Kelsey was her best friend. She was also her personal assistant. Her job was to assist Megan Thee Stallion. Similarly to what's the old girl name? Glorilla trying to hire an assistant. Kelsey was Megan's assistant. She was paid to be her assistant. That was her road dog, her best friend. They did everything together, right? And her immediate reaction was Tory shot Meg, right? Just let that marinate for a second. I don't care about nothing else at this moment. You have to let that marinate. Put that in the pot and be like, So Kelsey's saying that she doesn't know who paid for her attorney. and she is recanting and saying that everything that she said when she spoke to the DA investigator, when she gave 80 minutes of her 80-minute interview, she's going back on all of that, right? This is 2 years later. A lot can happen over 2 years. A lot of money can exchange hands over 2 years. But when it went down, when it all happened, she said, Tory shot Meg. Now let's bring in the gentleman who actually lives in the house, who looked down from his balcony and who said he saw the whole thing. Let's bring him in. What did he say? He said a lot of stuff. But for me, he said he saw a short man firing a gun. You have to let that marinate for a second. Let that marinate. I know y'all don't like it. Some of y'all don't like it, but let the marinate. The motherfucker, keep in mind, these people live, I'm assuming it's an affluent neighborhood. If it's down the street from Kylie Jenner, I'm assuming that they bought these houses not expecting there to be gunfire in their neighborhoods. I'm assuming, right? So he comes out and sees what's going on. Oh, they fighting. And he gives his witness, his account of what he saw. He says he saw a short person firing a gun. You gotta let that marinate for a second. You gotta let that marinate. So if I am a juror, and I'm weighing out all of these conflicting statements, because let me tell you, the whole thing was a shit show from what I gather. And you have to be mindful of who you were getting your information from. If you're getting your information from DJ Academics, he was biased. If you're getting your information from the lawyer guy, he looks like like he could be Middle Eastern or something like that. Lawyers for Workers. If you're getting the information from him, he's biased, right? If you're getting your information from No Jumper, it's biased. Those are not journalists, right? The journalist reports the story, just reporting the story with no extra. You don't put no sauce on it. You just do the reporting. You don't integrate yourself into the story, right? So some of you guys were getting your information from people who were pro Tory Lanez. They were definitely rooting for him to get off. You should get your news from unbiased sources, right? So I just want to put that out there. The jurors were in there from the beginning to the end. Everything that happened in that courtroom did not hit Twitter. Everything that happened in that courtroom did not hit Twitter, right? They got everything. They got all the evidence. They sat down and they deliberated, and they didn't take that long. They convicted him on all 3 counts. And I am saying that text message that said Tory shot Meg, I am saying that probably held a lot of weight. And I'm also saying that Kelsey is not a good liar. She is a horrible liar. What I saw was somebody who was trying to protect themselves and not incriminate themselves. And if I'm 100% honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they threw her some money. I wouldn't be surprised. Because I looked up Kelsey. She ain't living like she was when she was with Megan Thee Stallion. Let's just say that. Kelsey is not living the life that she was living when she was with Meg Thee Stallion. Let's just put that out there right now. She wasn't living that life. She's not living that life anymore, right? So perhaps, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tried to throw her a couple dollars. Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So let's just bring this home. I know a lot of you guys are passionate for Tory. A lot of you guys are passionate for Megan. But her best friend said Tory shot Meg the night that it happened. And he got on the phone and he apologized. Unless you can tell me why the hell he's apologizing. If I am a juror, I'm leaning towards what happened immediately after. Not 2 years later. What you telling me 2 years later, if it conflicts with what happened immediately, you're not convincing me. And one of the things that, one of the most disrespectful things you can do is insult somebody's intelligence. Insulting somebody's intelligence. It's basically saying, hey, I think you stupid, so I'm gonna tell you something, and I expect you to fall for it. I believe that the jurors looked at all of the information and they was like, wow, they think we stupid. Don't none of this make sense except for this neighbor who said he saw the short guy shooting a gun and this text message saying that Tory shot Meg. Because one of the things that I believe is that Megan did not want this to blow up. I believe that if she could have it her way, that nobody would have found out about this. And the reason why it got to this point was because when you go to the hospital, if anybody doesn't know this, you're gonna learn it today. If you go to the hospital and they discover that you have been shot, they have to call the police. So you can tell the police that you stepped on glass, right? You can tell them that you stepped on glass. They're receiving phone calls that there were gunshots. You can tell them that you stepped on glass, but when that team, when they pull those bullet fragments out of your foot, they're calling the police. That's the way it goes. Anybody show up with a gunshot wound, they're going to tend to you and call the police. You got to talk to the police. Megan could not roll with that glass lie anymore. She lied and said she stepped on glass. They said, no, you didn't. You lying. We got bullet fragments. And that's how this thing blew up, because I believe that she didn't want it to go to court. That is my belief, right? Now, I'm going to end it right now. This is PBM Vegetables and Junk Food, right? Go on and hit the dislike button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can hit whatever button you want to hit, because we're going to keep this commentary coming, right? But I want to leave y'all with this. Alcohol probably contributed to this. And I would like to encourage you all to stay safe and stay sober and be careful who you call a friend. Because when shit hit the fan, people will fold. People will fold. There's definitely some alcohol that played a role in this. And you guys should do your best to remain sober and choose your friends wisely. Okay? That's all I got for you. PBM Vegetables and Junk Food, the best YouTube channel in the world. In the world. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.